Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still with you and the afternoon's edition of Cairo Local Times. Still, of course, taking a look at the 30th of June revolution, commemorating 13 years, the anniversary of the June revolution. In your, of course, very important revolution marking Egyptian modern history. And for more on this, we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by Dr. Monica William, Professor of International Relations. Dr. Monica, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Doctor, for your time this afternoon. Now, of course, 13 years have passed since the June 30th revolution. In your opinion, ma'am, what are some of the most important achievements since this historic day?
Of course, indeed, we have to say that this revolution should be understood as a part of broader process of building the state and restoring its original and international influence and role. Revolution marks the beginning of new political phase in which domestic stability, on the other side, institutional reform, economic modernization, and an active foreign policy, which has become interconnected pillars of national strategy. Of course, on the other side, rather than viewing diplomacy in isolation, Egypt adopted a comprehensive approach that linked internal development with external influence, recognized that sustainable international credibility, which began, of course, with a strong and resilient state. One of the most significant or important achievements, in my point of view, of the past decade has been the restoration of Egyptian diplomatic identity as a responsible regional actor and relevant international partner, especially if we can read what's happening nowadays around the world and, of course, in the Middle East and on the regional level. Egyptian diplomacy increasingly emphasizes strategic balance, dialogue, and respect for international law while safeguarding national sovereignty and security. This balance, of course, is very important, and this approach has enabled Egypt to maintain constructive relations with the United States. On the other side, we have a good relationship and strategic relationship with Russia, China, India, European Union, and of course major Arab and African partners. Such diversification has strengthened Egypt's strategic autonomy and reduced dependence on any single international party, which of course the case in before the June University.
Indeed, Dr. Monica, you highlighted, of course, Egypt's foreign policy and how it has changed and developed and progressed since the June 30th revolution. But now back home, Dr. Monica, lots of changes have also occurred on the ground. The government and the state have embarked on several national mega projects. Modernization has been implemented in several sectors, starting from industry to agriculture to the tourism, health, education, investment, etc. How important do you see these developments back home, and what message do they convey abroad?
Of course, this revolution emphasized the role of for instance, the economic resilience. On the other side, the human development, which of course one of the most stellar achievements in this revolution, which of course part of importance or focus on the state in this regard. And of course, we have to notice that there is a lot of mega projects in different and developmental projects regards new Alamein, of course the new capital, and the mega projects regarding the infrastructure around Egypt for Sinai and for urban and rural partners. It's a very important, of course, project. On the other side, we have to say that it's following Egyptian adopted national development agenda. It's to privatize large-scale investments in highways and ports, airports, electricity generation, and of course it's a very important and critical item before the revolution: digital infrastructure and the construction of communities. Of course, it's a lot of projects as we see our status, which is of course new for Egypt agenda. These projects were designed only to improve the public services. They reflect a broader political vision in rebuilding state institutions and restore investor confidence and creating the foundation for sustainable economic growth. Infrastructure development become vital components of Egypt's national security strategy.
Yes.
Modern infrastructure enhance the state's ability to protect its borders, and of course we have to read this project on the other amid this escalation around the Middle East. Of course, it facilitates military mobility when necessary and secure the movement of people and goods across the country. Equally important investment in energy security, water infrastructure, logistics, and digital connectivity has strengthened Egypt's resilience against regional instability and global economic disruption. This demonstrates that national security in the 21st century extends beyond military capabilities to include economic strength and technological advancement and, of course, institutional capacity.
Indeed. Finally, Dr. Monica, of course, Egypt has also embarked on several incentives which have been introduced to attract foreign investors and attract foreign investments inside Egypt, all in the hope and aim of increasing investment opportunities for foreigners here in Egypt, allowing the development of several investment sectors, industrial sectors, or whatever fields where more exports result, and also the gap between trade balances is reduced. How do you see this important part of the development that the state has embarked on since the June 30th revolution?
Of course, for political economy, if we can say perspective, and one of the most significant outcomes of the June 30th revolution has been the restoration of confidence, as we see in the Egyptian state, and the ability to long-term economic transformation. Beyond improving the macroeconomic indicators, the government development strategy sought to provide reassurance to Egyptian society, particularly young people, and the future is being built on stronger economic foundation by investing heavily in industrial zone, digital transformation, entrepreneurship, and attract both domestic and foreign investments. Yes, of course, has been, for instance, the center of this vision recognized that young people represent in Egypt with greatest demographic asset, and the state expands training, digital skills program, innovation initiatives, and of course, this effort to be designed to reduce employment, and on the other side, it strengthens the Egyptian confidence in the Egyptian future and encourage to become active participants in economic growth.
Indeed.
On the other side, economically, Egypt pursued a strategy focused on increasing resilience in the face of a global crisis, including COVID pandemic and the supply chain disruption, of course, due to a lot of wars, Russia-Ukraine wars, and of course what happened in Middle East through geopolitical tensions.
Yes, indeed. They have indeed played a role. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Monica William, our Professor of International Relations. Many thanks, ma'am, for your time and your insight, and for joining us this afternoon on Cairo Local Time, wrapping up today's edition of the show in commemoration of the June 30th revolution. Egypt does not merely recall a passing political event, rather reflects on a defining moment in the altering of the nation's course. Let's take a look.
Egyptian foreign policy has regained its pivotal position in the region, Africa and the wider world since the 30th of June revolution. Over the past decade, Egypt has exerted extensive and tangible efforts in its foreign policy within various Arab, Islamic, African and international circles. It has worked towards reclaiming its pivotal position and role for the benefit of its people, the region and the world. It has successfully restored its regional and international networks of relations to the desired level of balanced dynamism and mutual respect. It has also contributed to the achievement of Egypt's national security goals, strengthened its military and economic capabilities, and maintained its historical and traditional foreign policy objectives. The June 2013 revolution aimed to establish a strategic framework for Egyptian foreign policy based on several specific pillars. The first pillar is that full international and regional cooperation in fighting terrorism and